Hey there, I'm very excited because we're gonna draw a Halloween picture. This one's gonna be a zombie chief for the Cherokee Chiefs, so it'll be sort of a happy Halloween from the Chiefs. Here's what you'll need. You'll need some paper like this and a pencil. And then if you have a Sharpie, I say grab a Sharpie because you may want to come back and darken some lines to make it look even cooler. And then something to color them with, like some colored pencils, which is what I'll use, or crayons or markers or whatever. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is sort of in the middle of the paper here, we're gonna draw like sort of an upside down long U, okay? Then I'm gonna do another one and then connect them together. So that's the shape that we're drawing first, all right? Remember that anytime you need to, you can pause the video and then catch up, all right? So I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna draw a diagonal line right there. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna draw a diagonal line. Try to make them kind of the same length. And then I'm gonna do one more U shape. So it's sort of like doing a rainbow, right? Sort of, but not really. Now we're gonna do some A shapes. So I'm gonna put an A shape right there, but without the line. I'm gonna put an A shape right here, and then just every so often draw the little pointy A's. All right. Then I'm gonna draw a curved line that comes down like that, and another curved line from the top of this A over here. And now on this one, I'm gonna just go off the paper like that, and the same thing here, I'm gonna mirror it, so it's gonna curve out like this. Then this one's gonna curve that way, this one's gonna curve that way. Now I'm gonna curve the other way, and curve the other way on this one, and curve the other way here. All right, so you can kind of see what we're doing, right? We're making the headdress for our mascot. Now I'm gonna do a taller A, or upside down V is really what it is, in between. Okay, I'm not gonna do one here. So a taller one here, a taller one here, and a taller one here. And then the same thing, I'm just gonna draw some lines. I'm gonna take that one straight up. I may not go all the way, we'll see. We may, I'm gonna curve this one over here, curve this one over here, and curve that one over there. All right? So now we've got the stems of our feathers. So I'm gonna make some feather shapes. And since this one kind of goes off the paper, I'm gonna come down like, I'm gonna say it's probably actually up here, even though that's off the paper. So I'm gonna come down like this and connect it with that line. And then I'm gonna connect like that. And I'm gonna do every other one first, and then I'll come back, and you can see that like I'm not being super precise or careful. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna make sort of these swooping curving lines for the feathers, and I'm gonna let it go off the page. I'm gonna come down here. Oh, I didn't do these. I'm gonna come down here, and now I have a whole feather. So I'm gonna do like a diagonal line like that, and then another diagonal line like that. And it just has to be kind of like that, right? Just something close. because the feathers aren't like the most important part of the drawing. We're drawing a zombie after all. That's the important part. So this gets a little bit crazy. Now I'm going to come back through and I'm going to draw these feathers. And I might go ahead and extend that one all the way up, and then I'm just going to draw this feather here like this. So there are a lot of lines, so this can get confusing, but the feathers are overlapping. So it's okay if it looks a little jumbled, because I'm not even finishing some of these feathers. Okay, so there you go. That's our headdress, and then I'm going to come in like this from here, and I'm just going to draw some sort of, they're the ends of feathers, but I'm just going to have them come down like that. And you can do whatever you want. Okay, so there's my headdress. Now I'm going to add, just to make it a little bit interesting, I'll add some circles. You could also add triangles, or maybe just some stripes. I'll do that. Just wherever you want them. All right, so there's our headdress. That's the most complicated thing. So now we're gonna draw the zombie, and we're gonna start with his eyes. But I wanna draw big, not round eyes. These are gonna be sort of weird shaped eyes. And I want them big. So you see how I gave this one a little bit of a swoop there? I think that's kind of an interesting thing, and that we can play with. So you can do that or not, it's yours. All right, now it's a little windy today. Now I'm going to do the, I'm using some tape. I'm taping a thing up here. The original drawing I made, so I can make sure that I do it the way I want to do it. So I'm going to draw a pupil in here, and another one right here, and then I might draw a circle here and a circle there. All right, and now I'm going to color that in. If you don't have a Sharpie right now, you can wait and you can use crayons or whatever. I just like to color it in as I go, because then it really sort of starts to take shape in a cool way. So I'm just coloring it in. You can do that too. And remember, you don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing it, but it's okay this time if you do, because we're just learning to draw a zombie, right? And now I'm going to do his nostrils, but you know, his nose might not really even be there anymore, because it's a zombie. Okay, so I'm going to draw those two nostrils, but I made them kind of vertical, right? Like, not like you normally expect them. And then I'm just going to draw like I'm going to connect them with another line. Okay, so there's his nose. And now we're going to do his mouth. So we're going to do, so this shape here, we're going to kind of imitate that shape a little bit smaller. So I'm going to come here, here's his eye, right? I'm going to come straight down from his eye, and I'm just going to draw like an upside down U, and it's here too, on the outsides of his eyes. I'm just using those as guideposts, right? And then I'm going to connect it like that. Okay? Great. Now let's come in here, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line there, and a diagonal line there. And I'm going to do the same thing here, a diagonal line and then another diagonal line. So we're working on the zombie mouth. Okay. Now here's what I want to do. I'm going to put just a point right there and a point right here, and I'm going to draw a line between them, but I don't want to go beyond that. I don't want to go up here and I don't want to come down here. And now I'm going to draw another line and another line. These are about the same size. They might get a little smaller as I go, or they might not. Okay. And so those are his teeth, but here's the thing, we're going to make them a little crooked. So I'm going to, you can do this however you want to. Okay, so there's his teeth, and now we're going to connect them so we see his gums. So I'm going to draw an upside down U to connect here, and another one here. So just little semicircles. Okay, and then I'm going to draw regular U's down here. I hear the chickens. I don't know if you can hear the chickens, but I moved to a different spot, so I hope they don't find me this time. But you never know. Okay, so there we've got his mouth. I'm going to go ahead and color this in. And I'm going to color this in. All right. Great. So now we're going to draw his head. So let's say I'm going to find this line here that goes the inside line of his headdress, and I'm going to come straight down, and then I'm going to loop over and come in like that. And so he has cheekbones. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to come straight down, then I'm going to loop over and come in there. So he's got some cheekbones. Yeah. And now I'm going to draw his jaw. I'm going to start like halfway. So between here and here, I'm going to start halfway. I'm going to go straight down. And when I get to the bottom of his mouth, I'm going to start coming in, and then I'll give him a chin. And then I'm going to go straight up there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, this is a zombie. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Who knows what this guy's been through, or this gal? Yeah. So there's his head. Let's go ahead and give him an ear. So I'm gonna make a curved line like that, and then a curved line like that, and I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. So there are his ears. Then I'm going to do this line here, a curvy line here, and a curvy line there. And then I'm just going to make a shape and color that in. And I'll make a shape here. It'd be great if it was the same, but I drew it a little smaller over here. Okay, so now let's go back in and let's start adding some details to really like bring him to life. Or I mean, he's a zombie. I don't know if you can bring a zombie to life. Bring him to unlife. He's the undead. I'm gonna do an eyebrow here, and I'm gonna do another eyebrow here, but kind of going a different direction, just to make it kind of interesting. And then I'm gonna do a line here that comes straight down to his eye, and then I'm gonna keep going like that. Okay, and I'm gonna add another one here. And then I might even do like a little loopy line there, sort of an A shape. Because like his skin's coming off, that's gross. Let's come straight down here with that line, and we're gonna do the same thing. Do that wrinkle and then this wrinkle, okay? We can maybe give him a little bit of a nose there. I think that's good. And let's let's draw in some stuff here. Okay, and then maybe, oh yeah, that, I don't know why that makes him look meaner. All right, so there you go. And then let's have his neck, because you know his head's still attached, so he's got a neck there. Okay, so there is your chief zombie. The next step, so if you've drawn this in pencils, that's fantastic. The next step is to color it. So you want to think about, okay, what color do we want his headdress? I'm going to go ahead and color in these two, like they're feathers behind feathers, right? So you can color this, and then once you color it, you can get a Sharpie and then go back over the lines with it so it really stands out and is cool, all right? So let's decide how we're going to, whoa! It's windy! So you can do any colors that you want. I, just in case you're interested or you're a parent wondering, I really like Shuttle Art colored pencils. You can get them on Amazon. They're really good. They're better than like the kind of matte pencils or colored pencils that you get at Walmart. They're a little higher quality. They're not super expensive, but they blend really well. So they're good for art. Not that you have to, you know, I'm not selling these things. Maybe I should. All right. If anybody wants to buy these, they're $500. I'm gonna pick green. You can pick whatever color you want, but I'm gonna pick a green color for his face. Let me see, just sort of a light pale green. Maybe this one. I didn't bring my pencil sharpener with me. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start coloring. And you can do the same. You don't have to follow this part, although I will keep I'll keep talking and maybe give you some tips about shading and stuff. So step one here is to just get the color on there. So I want to color everything that is skin this sort of green color. I don't know why, in my mind, zombies are green. I don't know if they are really. I hope I never see one in like real life to find out. That would be traumatic. So right now I'm trying to make sure that I don't go out, you know, that I stay in the lines. But I'm also not being super careful because I'm really just trying to get some color on there, and then I'll come back and like tighten some things up. You know, some teachers spend their weekends like figuring out how to teach math problems. I spend my weekends drawing zombies. So all I'm saying is I'm winning. I'm winning in the job contest. Put all the color on, the base color. You can think of it as like this is the base coat. And then we'll come back in later. And the thing is, like, that could be good enough, right? Like, maybe that's all you want to do, or that's all you have time for. Maybe you want to set it aside and go, you know, climb a tree or something, and then come back and do this later. I hope you're climbing trees. If you're stuck at home doing this stuff, I hope you're out, like, sometimes having some fun. So this is like, if, you know, if a Cherokee chief mascot dressed up for Halloween, he might dress up as a zombie. It's not a real zombie. It's our mascot in a costume. That's how I'm thinking of it. Because if it's a real zombie, that's pretty scary. I don't know if I can cope with that emotionally. Notice how I shifted my grip on the pencil. Sometimes that makes it a little easier in certain situations, like this one. lay some, you know, to change the way you draw or man, I can't talk and do this at the same time. Good thing I'm trying to do that. Okay, so I'm going to draw some diagonal lines, and then I'm just going to color them in. So I'm going to do like just some feathers. Not going to be too worried about like, well, I'm not going to be too worried about anything. It's a beautiful day. I'm outside doing art. What's to worry about? And so, you know, I'm just kind of making it up as I go here. You can do the same thing. Let's see, I don't know, what color is next? I think I want to go with, well, I'll go back to the red for these things. For the A's. Now here's the thing, you can decide what to color and what not to color. Not everything has to have a color. Some things are white. I'm going to leave the feathers white. Sometimes it's better just to keep things simple. It's probably a good rule in life. I feel like I'm teaching so much in these lessons. So much more than just art. I'm teaching life lessons. Keep it simple. Now, what do you think about like that's here? I'm just gonna say those are also feathers. I'm gonna play with this for a second. I'm gonna pick one and just lightly just see, yeah, that'll work. And then so I'm just creating some visual interest, some texture. I'm not really worrying too much about it. This bug keeps crawling up my leg. It's one of those scary bugs that are totally harmless, they say, but he looks scary. Okay, I'm gonna color the tips of these feathers because I missed them. Okay, maybe I'll add a little red in. Maybe just, you know, just for fun. And see, I'm just kind of just scribbling it on there just because I think it, you know, looks more interesting. And then I may do some, I guess I'll make these, I'll color these in too. I kind of want this to stand out more, so I'm gonna pick a color that will like really sort of make the red stand out, like a kind of a hunter green maybe, or maybe a turquoise-ish. Let's go with this and see. This might be a huge mistake. I'm not, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna go with, I feel like that's gonna be too, we'll see. We'll just see. Yeah, I like that better. Also, I'm gonna need this for the shading. I should have thought of that. And then I'm just gonna go out there. I need there's a color I really like. I don't see it. Ah, no. Where is it? Oh, maybe it's this one. Yeah, I'm taking a chance here. I'm taking a real chance with the colors. But I'm gonna go, I'm doing it. I'm committing. I kinda don't know if I'll like it. Oh, I think I am. I think I'm gonna like it. You know what, this is dangerous. Yeah, I feel like, man, I'm, taking some real chances for this being a video that I don't want to do over again. Okay, I'm gonna leave the headdress the way it is. I think I'm good on the headdress. Let's go back and work on the zombie. I want to shade some stuff just to give it a little depth and add some color. So I'm going to come up here to his eye, and I'm just going to use a darker green. And here's the thing, you could definitely use like the same shade of green that you used and just press harder, but I'm going to cheat a little bit. Plus I like this hue, this tone of it. And I'm going to come up here and do this too. Just kind of to give him some depth. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here in these, in these corners here. Oh, I went into his eye. I'm going to have to color his eye. Okay, so it's just a little more interesting to look at. Makes him look a little more three-dimensional. I'm going to come down here under, I guess these are his jowls, and do that. And I might even do a little bit here. And then I'm definitely going to come under here and give him a shadow where his chin is. It's looking pretty cool. Got a pretty square jaw. He was a supermodel probably before he got bitten by a zombie. Okay, then I'm going to come under here, anywhere where I just want to create depth. So, oh, can you even see that? There you go. So I colored in here, under his chin, under his lips, well, not that he has lips. His lips have been, they've vanished. It's okay. I'm going to come in under here and go down a little bit. I might come down here and there. So really, I'm just like playing around. So now I'm going to do some highlights. So when you shade, you can also highlight. There, it's the opposite sort of. So the idea is that if the light comes from here, it creates a shadow underneath things that stick out, right? Or inside like the eye socket and stuff like that. So you can also highlight. So I'm going to pick kind of an ugly yellow color because he's a zombie, and I'm just going to I'm going to just do a little bit of highlighting. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this yellow color on his teeth, but I'm not just going to color his teeth yellow. I'm just going to like make them yellow, like up by the gums, and then kind of fade down. So, you know, when you're a zombie, you don't brush your teeth. I mean, where are you going to find a toothbrush, first of all? Are you just going to like walk into Walmart and get one? No. They'd never let you in. The greeter would be like, excuse me? And then they would run for their lives. I guess you could always just like bite them. So you can see I'm going darker yellow at the root of the tooth, and then just sort of fading up. And I think I'm going to do it on his eyes too, just because I think that'll be, then it just, yeah. I'm going to go around his eyes with the yellow, and that'll make him sort of a little bit more stand out a little bit. And then I'm just going to sort of fade it, so I'm not pushing as hard here. But I'm giving it some depth. And that's pretty good. That's working. So dark here and then lighter as you get closer to the pupil. That's pretty good. All right, and now I got to make a decision about how gross I want this to be. So I've got this tear in his skin here, and I've got his gums. So I'm gonna pick a reddish color. I already had one. I think a different red. I might go a little, well, what do I want to do? A little darker. This is gonna be awful. Okay, I'm just gonna color this in. You may make a different decision here. Sign it because you're an artist. So I'm gonna sign it over here. Okay, and you can sign it wherever. And I might write, I'm gonna write Chief Zombie, and I'm gonna use these sort of chiefish looking letters. Chief Zombie. So there you go. Have fun with it, and I will see you next time.